Hello, my name is Samuel Adewole, and from Afrowood Studio. With me in the studio today, I have a very important friend of mine. We've been chatting out for quite some time, and today he joined us in the studio. And I would like him to introduce himself, a person of.
My name is ep1. We're just going to chat about a few things, ideas, future vision, and what we hope to accomplish with this platform in Africa as a whole. Africa.
And what's your name?
ep1.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you.
What's your background? I mean, can you tell us more about yourself? Because
I did my master's in strategic market creation. I wrote my thesis in how do firms obtain external knowledge.
Okay.
And I have a bias for innovation and brokering and technology and development.
I see.
So,
okay, and can you tell us more about this brokering?
basically, what knowledge, all firms require knowledge.
Okay.
The question is, how do a company get knowledge?
Okay.
And companies get knowledge in different ways. Some simply acquire a new company, some buy some specialists, some develop it organically, some within this constellation of knowledges, you have also different types of knowledge. You have tacit knowledge, which is kind of abstract. You have explicit knowledge, which is kind of codified knowledge. That is, it's inside a box or a place where you can actually get it from. So, yeah, that's those are the basic. But brokering itself, which is where brokering in terms of knowledge brokering is if you take the example of a stockbroker, the stock is somewhere, so you go to the stockbroker to say, okay, I want this particular stock or whatever. So brokering is a way by which you can actually facilitate the transfer of knowledge from one domain to another domain.
Okay. And what's in your thesis? You said you cover brokerage, brokering, knowledge brokering. And what did you write about?
Basically, we were trying to develop a model for how firms share knowledge.
Okay.
And how do they get knowledge.
Okay.
And we were just saying, okay, what's the most efficient ways for them to get knowledge?
Okay.
So if you're a startup, for example, you have to kind of like, all your knowledge is in-house, maybe in the 2 or 3 people that's starting up the company. Yeah. And then you read books, which is codified knowledge. Then you learn things which are based on your own experience, which you are doing in a unique way as it relates to you, which starts it. Nobody knows how you're doing it, but you are doing it. Yeah. If you're a multinational company, you have all these R&D places all over the world.
Yeah.
You have people you're paying to develop ideas and whatever. Yeah. And if you're big enough, you can go buy a company and acquire everything they've done forever. So there are different pathways, but the key question for a firm is, what's the most efficient pathways to acquire those set of knowledge that you need in order to grow.
Okay. And are you involved in any particular projects at the moment?
Yeah, I'm involved in some projects with some friends, with like-minded people.
Okay.
I do believe that the future is about our ability to actually. The future, is going to be different.
Okay.
And everybody has a skill set. Yeah. Everybody has a unique set of skill sets.
That's true.
And those unique set of skill sets, if you have the right people with the right vision, with the right, attitude, you can always leverage your skill, combine with your skill to actually do something. So I'm doing a lot of things, and I'm always doing things. I mean, it's not necessarily for any material gain, but sometimes it's just based on passion or interest or fun.
Is there any project that you could, in your line of education or your experiences so far, do you see this working together as a functioning tool within African community or within Africans in diaspora, so to speak?
The fact of the matter is, historically, we are, as Africans, we have issues. But every nation has issues.
Okay.
It's like when you talk about corruption. Corruption exists everywhere in the world.
That's true.
If you talk about our inability to collaborate and cooperate and all of those, some I believe are rooted in our socio-cultural backgrounds, which means by that I mean when you're at home, your parent will tell you, oh, do things on your own, don't do things with that person because that person's shady. So, but in the modern world, it's difficult for you to. I mean, very very few people can bring a company to life or to existence on their own.
Yeah.
But more and more, you are finding out that you need skill sets that you do not have as a startup, competencies that you probably need as a startup, or maybe if you have somebody that will give you a lot of money, you might be able to do it on your own. But if you are in a situation where nobody is ready to provide you with this money, then you have to figure out within your network who has the skill set or can contribute to making this a reality.
Okay. I was just we were having a conversation before we thought this one is worth sharing to the world, because is it not TED that say they have a low they have something which ideas worth sharing. So every idea is worth sharing in some respect. So that's why we wanted this for the rest of the people in the world out there. We were discussing about the vision of Afrowood. Afrowood is it's not a newly established company, but I still see Afrowood as a startup of its own. But what are the prospects you think this platform could be used for?
Afrowood as a platform is, number one, as the name suggests, is for all Africans in diaspora and for all of Africa. Yeah. And the media, as it is today, is content driven. It's everybody can produce a content.
Absolutely.
I mean, every day I don't know how many billions or gigabytes of upload is happening on YouTube or on various media. So, and with the experience of the Egyptian Green Revolution or Orange War, so you can see as a platform in itself for Africa and Africans in diaspora. The question is, what does Afrowood want to accomplish? Because it can accomplish a variety of things. And one of the things I do believe is, I might think in my own head, this is the goal for Afrowood, the vision. I do not know how people are going to use this platform. Because it's one thing for you to think, I'm developing this specifically for social media, for my friends in the university just to communicate with each other, and for other people to see it as a tool for political emancipation or making an impact in terms of political change in countries, as Facebook and all this media has been used for. So for now, I think Afrowood is a platform whereby African movies will be promoted, African culture is being promoted, and probably a vehicle for the true integration of Africanness within Africans in diaspora.
Okay. Mentioning integration, one of the platform or one of the ways to drive integration is education.
Yeah.
And countless of Africans in diaspora are highly educated. I think it was last year or 2 years ago, there was a study in the U.S. that shows the highest number of educated people, foreigners in the U.S. are Nigerians.
Yeah.
Then followed by the Indians and the Chinese and a few other. So we're practically driven to educate ourselves.
Yeah.
And one of those reasons which was given back then was that immigration issues was one of those things. Because to maintain a steady immigration status in some of these Western countries, you have to be studying or married or whatnot. Whatever the motivation for educating ourselves, it doesn't matter. What matters is, what do we use that education for? And as Afrowood, one of the things which you suggest is that we should use this platform for education. Can you shed more light on that?
Yeah, well, when I say education I meant education in terms of, in general. We have a history. A lot of us live here or have kids here. They do not know, maybe they visit wherever we come from once a year or once every 6 years or once every 2 years. There is a bias in the media as to what we are as Africans or who we are or what we are able to even accomplish or what we've accomplished.
I see.
So there are Nigerians making miniature drones on whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody knows about it. There are Nigerians that are making generators that they are using Uri to power. There are Nigerians that... So all of these are things that are going on in the development. Kenya is becoming a hub for ICT. Rwanda, after so many years of was it the genocide and all of that, is coming back strong, and the good things are happening. But so aggregating all of this and bringing all of this knowledge, all of this information onto the Afrowood platform, broadens people. Oh, this is what is up. Rwanda is not just about the genocide; it's about development. It's about ICT. Do we still have our issues? Do we still have problems? Yes, we do.
Absolutely.
But are there steps being taken to address those issues by the people of those countries? Not necessarily by the political class, because that's a different question, but by citizens who are seeking and doing everything they can to better themselves and better their communities. So Afrowood can have a role to play within that setting. But what specifically and how it will play that role will be defined by the people who are using the platform.
Okay. While we were talking, you suggested having a sort of an idea weekend or a vision casting weekend, whereby people just come into the studio and just share ideas. And can you elaborate on that?
Basically, when I say people, one of the things is how do we get Afrowood to become a viral whatever? We have a perception within the African or sub-African culture as it is. And when I say African culture, I'm talking about the black people. So if you're Cuban, Brazilian, Trinidad to West Indies, whatever, Jamaican, you are still African. So within that context, and the notion is that we do not support each other. That if I'm doing something and it's supposed to be successful for me to support, I need people of like-minded to kind of support. But within the African context, we do not have that. Most of the time, you go it alone. And while I do agree to a certain extent that is true, I do believe that the culture or that culture is changing because we are now seeing the evolution or the development of people that actually realize that for us to develop as Africans, for us to actually grow wherever we are, in whatever society we are, we have to actually
work together.
Okay. And the nature of that work might take different forms, but support work with a lot of honesty and integrity.
So what you're saying is collaboration. Collaboration. All right. To wrap up this whole conversation today, if we can bring anything out of this, what would that thing be?
If we can bring anything out of this place,
our discussion so far.
I think what my hope or what I would think is, as a platform, we should use this as a platform to actually educate people on what it is that on where Africa needs to be, and to actually demonstrate to people that does not know that Africa is actually on a path, that is, more or less, we are shaped by the media. But we also have our own media. This is a vehicle for us to actually shape the news about us, about who we are and what we are.
Yeah. Basically, what you're saying is that we need to know our history first.
Yeah.
Then know where we are today.
Exactly.
Create where we're going.
And then, create our own, tell our own story. The way it is, honestly.
Okay. So that the history would not continue to glorify the hunter.
For a long time, people have told us our history.
Yeah.
But we've not done the telling.
Okay.
Now it's time for us to tell our own story.
Okay.
Tell people about our own history, about our own experiences, and let people know exactly where we intend to go.
Thank you very much, Ade, for coming to the studio. We appreciate you coming here. And from me in the studio, Samuel Adewole once again from Afrowood Studio, and I will catch up with you next time.